A very good evening, everyone. My name is Donald, but you guys can call me Donny, that's fine. Glad that I'm not the only person in here with an Irish accent, so you'll be nicely warmed up, so I'll try and speak a bit more clearly as much as I can. We were more than delighted to take part in this design, this concept, this project, and thanks very much to Tamsin and everyone at Green for getting us involved, because it's something that's very much part of the core of our work. Currently, we have a motto in the office that small is beautiful, and we think that our project, which I'm about to show you, pretty much does that. So the first image that you did see was the view of the view of the sky. That was probably one of the main attractions that we had when we came to do our site analysis. The first thing that we could see was these leftover spaces and these square voids, and at the same time we also referenced the Roy Grounds Courtyard House, which is a circular void in a square block. So what we did was we used the word invert, and we created a circular block inside a square void, and something that's actually quite natural. And then using the circle, rotating them at different offsets and so on, and creating something that's a lot more, say, organic and less rigid than what you see in the surrounding buildings. And also to the sky's the limit as well, so we went up as high as possible. We had a look at some area calculations. We found that the circle was the most efficient way of working within a floor area. I guess there's two big differences. There's the area, which is important to the user, and then there's the surface area or the perimeter, which is important to, say, the builder, the quantity surveyor, how things are costed, and so on and so forth. So from starting on the rectangle with a certain square meter area, working towards the square and then ended up at the circle is the most efficient way of coming up with our footprint, with our perimeter. So just jumping straight into the layout. As you can see with our model here, we use repetition as much as possible. In terms of the perimeter, and also the layout and the elements that is put together for our building, for a proposal. So on the ground floor, we enter into a lobby space, which is somewhere that you can have your bike storage or whatnot, and then your master bedroom with a bathroom laundry. Also, we tried to make the project as adaptable to different places. So obviously, this is the brief was for a family of four. On the first floor, we got the kids' wing, but you could easily knock out that layer if you wanted and bring it down from 3 levels to 4 levels. We also used glass as much as possible, and we created some softness with some external walls around the outer layers. Our staircase is our core area that basically connects all the levels. And we try to keep circulation space down as limited as possible and make it as multifunctional as possible. So as you see, when we flicked from the previous slide to this slide, all the change was just the internal layout. The external, the skin of the building has not changed, and basically some internal walls have sort of slightly shifted. And they can also house curtains and so on for privacy and so on. Also, yeah. So on the second floor, which is the main living area, we shifted the living area to the north, which created a buffer on the southern side, because our near neighbours, the office block, are right next to us. So you can have some visual screening through greenery and trees and whatnot. And then the outdoor living space can be up at the very top, where we can actually get that view of the sky. So it also creates a few different interesting areas as well, such as a decking area that can be shaded, a garden area to the south, and a nice area to the north then as well. In terms of materials, yes, glass. Well, like we found that glass was quite good because, I guess, for something to interact with its surroundings, glass works quite well because it reflects the adjoining building, so it absorbs into the landscape pretty well. As you can see, we can see the reflections of the other buildings. And then we thought, why not? Maybe the balustrades could be solar panels. So we weren't totally convinced that a crane could be able to get down this laneway because it is pretty tight. So the modular, we thought we wouldn't take that risk. So we looked at maybe a prefab or a flat pack sort of building. So as the building is getting built here, the bones of the building, our floor plates, our walls, our internal walls, our glazing units, our balustrades, they're all getting stacked up on just down below us right here. And I think the area from memory, I think it only takes up 3 meters by 15 meters by 2 meters high. So the idea is that it can be all stacked up, delivered here, and then put together piece by piece, rather than module by module. So you can see that's our 3rd floor. That's just about to go on, or just has been put on, with our roof terrace, bit by bit, and then so end of our balustrades, and then our finishes will be attached on then afterwards. So throughout the project, we aim to explore the bigger question of increasing the density, why building small is beautiful, while still creating some nice self-contained and some interactive spaces from one to the next. You can see on the right here, that just shows the transparency, as well as the connection between the outdoor and the inside. And then the left here just shows the building form, where one cylinder can easily be knocked out from one to the next and be used for different sites. And I guess one of the core ideas for the concept was that we use repetition as much as possible, not just in the layout, the skin of the building, but also right down to the very bones, right down to each element, piece by piece. And then also look at the practicality of it as well. You know, the noise, the daylight, sunlight, privacy and integration. And I think that's pretty much it. Thank you.